there is no store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but also to those who have longed for his appearing. This is the word of the Lord.
Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. We welcome you all to this service, a big service as we expect. We are getting into the time of eulogies, which we agreed that we will take around 1.5 hours into that. It is now 12:30. Our MCs are going to lead us. I expect us to respect them in regard, because we have to get out of here at the time that we planned. So when you get a microphone, please use it wisely in the interest of time. We'll give this portion 1.5 hours. We are thinking that will be enough for us all to do what we are supposed to do. Our MCs, please take note. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Abdin. Thank you very much, Abdin. My Lord Bishops who are here, I request that we receive the rest of the eulogies which were remaining, rather the rest of the wrath which are remaining, before we can proceed with the eulogies.
My Lord Bishops, all the dignitaries, the family, the list is long, so I will not read all of them. In case your name misses, please don't crucify me. We have the G6 Fellowship, which has been praying with Aunt Betty. You are recognized. Canon and Mrs. Kahenano, you are recognized. If I read you, wherever you are, you can please stand up and wave to the people. The Kayonga family, Amot Karekezi family, the one of the in-laws from Amoti's side, parents, the family of the late Deputy Governor John Robert Elangot. So wherever you are, you can stand up and people, you wave to people. Omzana Sarah Kabumba and family, the family of the late Georgina of Kororo, Mrs. Salome Anyot and family from Dar es Salaam, Green Hill Academy, Inspectorate of Government, all the various people from various banks. I will not read all of you. Bank of Uganda Christian Fellowship, National Payment System. There is Incafex, but also there is Incafex Boys. Then there was Senior Mutebile was a Senior, Kigezu College Mutebile. So there was Senior led by the headmaster and the old boys. You are recognized. The MTN Uganda, Canon Joram and Miss Lillian.
Well, that is the Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda, Right Honorable Robin Anabanja. Is just arriving here at Kigezi High School, Primary School playground here in Kabale. She is stepping in as the chief mourner for the late Governor Bank of Uganda, Professor Tumusiime Mutebile. That is the premier. She's just making her way here, at least to be part of the final send-off journey for the late giant of our economy. That's the premier. As you can see, she is welcomed by, among others, the Minister for ICT, Dr. Chris Baryomosi. There is the Minister of State Finance and Planning, that is Honorable Henry Musasizi. I have also seen their Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Honorable Okelo Oriem. She is being led to the tent of VIPs where she will keenly sit and follow the proceedings of this Mass happening here in the center of Kabale municipality. That is the Prime Minister. Other dignitaries already here trying to at least also be part of the celebrations of the life and the journey of Professor Tumusiime Mutebile, the former ministers and prime ministers. If I can also begin from there, we have seen the former Prime Minister, Right Honorable John Patrick Amama Mbabazi. We have the former Prime Minister, Dr. Ndugu Hakana Rugunda. Other ministers here present are Ministers David Bahati. We also saw, I have already introduced him, Honorable Kelo Oriem. Political party leaders, I have managed to see FDC party president is seated somewhere in the ministers' tents. Patrick Oboy Amriat. I can also see the FDC party secretary general, Honorable Nandala Mafavi. It is an occasion being graced by different people from all walks of life, including cultural leaders. We have religious leaders across this entire Kigezi sub-region. We also members of the family. We have even members of the public, a few who have been allowed to access this area are also keenly at least being part of this final journey for the giant who has greatly served and in a dedicated way managed to steer the Uganda's economy up to where we are. From here, I think later on in the day we will be heading for the final, that is the funeral service, which will be happening at his ancestral home, which is a few meters away from here at Muhurita village, if I have made it right. I don't know if that is the clear pronunciation, but at least I will manage to at least rectify it in our bulletins and even our live coverages. The Prime Minister is already there. She's seated. And other ministers, I can also see retired Major Jim Muhwezi, that is the Security Minister, is also here to at least bid farewell to a comrade, a patriot, and a historian. So that is the national anthem, and we will take you back to follow these proceedings. We are here and we want to at least give you an assurance that you will not miss any dot of these proceedings until the body will be laid to rest later on in the day.
Mr. Chris Kishka, please come quickly and please be seated. And after that, I'll call the Chief Mourner to you are paying your respect. Just step at the... Thank you. So at this official burial, which was accorded to Professor Mutebile by His Excellency the President, I would like to request the Right Honorable Robina Nabanja to step forward and pay respects and lay the wreath to our friend and brother, Professor Emmanuel Tumusiime Mutebile. And after that, we'll run through the speeches. As the Reverend had said, it will be short. We have 1 hour to run through all this. So if you are called upon, please make sure that you keep time. Other wreaths, we will just read them along as we manage the program. And I want to request each one of us to keep your mask on, wear it properly, meaning that you cover your nose and mouth wherever you are. It's a bit inconvenient, but it's necessary and it's a must. That's the reason why we put this function in this open space so that we can keep the SOPs. Reverend, will you take us the first part of the mic, please, and sanitize it.
Thank you, Honorable Minister David Bahati, for welcoming the Chief Mourner, who is the Prime Minister. And at this point, we would like to enter into the part of eulogies. And I would like to make some requests before we can proceed. There are people who are going to be representing various groups, whose names I'm going to read here. So please, if you are representing any group, I request you that you become the sole representative of the group. We will be uncomfortable and probably will not tolerate the handing over of microphones, because there are quite a number of them, of the eulogies that we have in the limited time that we have. And therefore, these are the eulogies that we are going to have. We shall have the first one from the siblings, who will be led by General Sabit Mutebile. From the district, led by Honorable Nelson Shangawa Sheija, the chairperson, LC5 Kabale District. From the children, led by Mr. Duncan or Miss Florence. And then we shall have the speech from Incafex, led by Mr. Musinguzi Garuga. Uganda Bankers Association, led by Mr. Matthias Katamba. The personal doctor, Dr. Ben Imbonye. Kigezi Business Community, led by Engineer Ivan Vatuma. Bank of Uganda, led by Mr. Michael Ating Ego. And then Rwanda, led by Dr. Kaberuka. Historical Friends, led by Dr. Ruhakana Rugunda. And then the wife, Mrs. Betty Mutebile. Kigezi Leaders, led by Major General Jim Muhwezi. Then the National Organizing Committee, led by the Honorable Chris Badiomusi. Then the Chief Mourner, and then that will be the Honorable Prime Minister, whom I will not introduce, of course, will be introduced by the Honorable Minister. That will be the last eulogy which we shall have from government. And therefore, at this point, I would like to request General Sabit Mutebile to lead us in the eulogy of the siblings. I request you to come and stand here, and then you represent the siblings. Choir, you can give us a chorus as he comes.
The Chief Mourner and Prime Minister of Uganda, representing the President of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the envoy of the President Paul Kagame of Rwanda, Mwana wanje Betty, the widow, the ministers of government, ambassadors, and foreign dignitaries, members of parliament, and Uganda government officials, the bishop, and the clergy, the deputy governor Bank of Uganda, and all the staff of Bank of Uganda, all directors or general managers of banks and the bankers, friends of late Emmanuel Tumusiime Mutebile, and the friends of the family, the members of Rotary Club, in which the late Emmanuel was a member, my friends, the members of Rotary Club, and my friends, the members of FASA, Family Support Association, all relatives, people of Kabale, and the people of Chijuguta, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Major General Timothy Sabit Mutebile. I'm an architect by profession and a fellow of Uganda Institute of Architects. I'm a recently retired Chief of Engineers and a commander of the Engineers Brigade of the UPDF. As you may know, once a soldier, always a soldier. Once a general, always a general. I think the religious people also know that once a bishop, always be bishop. Generals are the bishops of the army. Therefore, I have my fellow soldiers and bishops of the army, led by Lieutenant General Otema. Are you around, Otema? Stand up for recognition. I also have the Joint Chief of Staff of the UPDF, General Chanda. Is he around? I have fellow retired generals, including Lieutenant General Owesigiri. Have you come? Jim Owesigiri, Omuseji Witu Garama. General Moise is also around. And I have my former aide-de-camp or military secretary, Major Alabeja. You are around? I also have my former commander of the 1st Regiment of Engineers, who is now the brigade operations officer. Are you around, Kamashira, Lieutenant Kano? I also have my former secretary, who is now the secretary of the Ministry of State for Veteran Affairs. Are you around? She came with her daughter, who is the beauty queen of Ankole Heritage and Miss Tourism Uganda. Stand up for recognition. Let me now, with the exception, request be allowed to call upon Major Lieutenant General Otema, my big brother from the north, and the commander of the reserve force of the UPDF to come and present the message from the Chief of Defense Forces, General Mbasum Mbadi. He'll be accompanied by the Joint Chief of Staff. And I'm told you can first pay your respects and then move on to the podium. General Tema, that's done. You can come this way. Thank you very much.
The Chief Mourner, the bereaved family, all the dignitaries, my Lord Bishop, as my brother Timothy introduced me, that I'm here on behalf of the CDF. But allow me to say one or two words. I've also come here as a friend of the family. Timothy, General, has been my friend for a long time. When he was a rank of captain, I think. I've never eaten the fish, which Wachika like very much. It's a tiny thing, very sweet. I tasted, whenever Timothy come to Kabale, when he goes back, he normally bring to me, because we are really very close. And when he come to the north, we have a rabbit called a Jiri, where they come and make sure Madam makes for him. Likewise, through him, I've met the governor, I've been to his house, I've been to his island, where Timothy said I was in his island. He ordered for the goat to be slaughtered. Then I asked General Sabit, I said, is this for business or for eating wherever visitors come? He said, this goat will never multiply, because whenever the visitors come, it's always eaten. Thank you very much for being a very close friend to me, and to allow me knowing the gallant son of the country, a general, your late brother. Allow me to read the message of the Chief of Defense Forces. The bereaved family of the late Professor Tumusiime Mutebile and fellow mourners. Condolence messages. On behalf of Uganda People Defense Forces, I convey our deepest sympathy and condolence to the family, relatives, and friends, mourning the demise of our beloved senior comrade and citizen Professor Tumusiime Mutebile. The late Professor Tumusiime Mutebile served his country diligently in the economic sphere and passed on at just a time when Uganda, his family, relatives, and friends needed his service and care most. He made selfless contribution towards economic development of his country and has left an indelible mark as the governor of Bank of Uganda. The UPDF family commiserate with the family, relatives, and friends at this difficult moment of mourning the late Professor Tumusiime Mutebile, who will always be remembered. The Uganda People Defense Forces has contributed 5 million towards the burial expenses. May his soul rest in eternal peace. I have also a message from the Minister of Defense, which I'm not going to read everything, but signed by Honorable Vincent Sempija. They gave the contribution of 10 million shillings to the family. Thank you very much. Timothy, you are not retired. I'm a commander of reserve. You are under my command. I can call you anytime for service. Okay?
I agree. Yes, I'm told that there are some other generals who are here. There is Major General Dr. Ambrose Musinguzi. Can you stand up for recognition, please? That is the Chief of Medical Services of the UPDF. That's the general I disturb every 3 months to go for a general medical checkup, and has been doing well to look after my health in retirement. Thank you very much. In case there are any other UPDF serving soldiers or retired soldiers, stand up for recognition, please. Thank you very much. At this juncture, let me invite fellow siblings to come and stand here and be counted, including David Murungi and Saturday Joshua. Can you come here, please? The siblings and our spouses, including my wife. I don't see you coming. As you may note, I'm not the oldest in the family, but today I'm representing the family because
David, the eldest brother, represented us at Kororo. Canon Peter represented us yesterday. And today, it's my turn to represent them. But again, you allow me to give me permission to give my sister Grace a small minute to talk to you. The elder, Bwatamatako Bwamawe. Not now, later. On behalf of the siblings, let me take this opportunity to welcome all of you to join us, celebrate the life of Governor Emmanuel Tumusiime Mutebile, the late governor. I also like to thank Betty Amoti, the widow, for loving our brother and for looking after him through thick and thin. I thank all of those who visited the governor while in hospital in Abu Dhabi recently and also in Nairobi, especially our sister Samari, our young Bokos, Hilary. I didn't get here. Oh, they are coming. Those are siblings. They will come. They are all thanked. I would like to thank the old friends. The Amos Days, Honorable Rokana Rugunda, Right Honorable, Right Honorable Babazi, these people have been friends of Emmanuel from childhood up to now. And they remained with him up to the end. Some days after he left for Nairobi, I got a call from a friend in Bank of Uganda. He said, you know, for the first time ever, we have been told officially that your brother has been from Nairobi and is sick. This was the first time for the bank to announce that the governor was sick. I therefore called it a mission unusual. And I started having a lot of options in my head. The first option was to go to visit his home and look at each state. Because I thought that he may not come back alive. And when I saw it, I discussed with the widow to start preparing it and make it look better, because they have not been that house since 2017. Maybe they went there only once when my daughter was being given away into marriage. So we started more preparations to rehabilitate and repair the area. Soon after, Betty called me to join her, and I thought that maybe I would rather first improve the local situation, because I believe that there's not much I could do, since the governor had the best doctors ever anybody could get. She insisted that I should go there, and she was joined by the old friends. The old friends I mentioned, including Dr. Mbonyi. And I gave them my reasons why I'm not yet going. And Shasimbele said, whatever we are doing, we appreciate. You leave me doing this work, supervising the repairs and improvements on your behalf, and go to Nairobi. And they said, yes, you must go. I'm going to prepare for you in Nairobi. I'll give you transport from the airport to the hotel.
Twena tugire edakiika aga turashabira Tumusiime ahubwo urugendo ruri yatandikire agende na mukama we wa mwesire. Amina. Tumusiime n'umugenzi Wilson Mutebile kandi n'Nyarakurata ninye ifura ya Mutebile kandi Tumusiime mukura turanyeta akaba ari umwana murungi asa arakunda abantu kandi mumigambire ye aragamba yina akasheko akamwenyuha mwogweye kandi arayisa mukama ekitinisa. Ngenu turamushabira kugira mukama amuhereze ekyumweru kimushemereye. Twamuferwa bambe yarakunda abantu bengi yarakunda obuhereza yarakunda mirimo gweye nangwa n'ababanka baferwa nitwe twaferwa kushana n'ababanka baferwa. Ngenu na Uganda yona yaferwa na Afrika yona ahubwo n'ensi yona uko yari kuza munsi za heru. Ngenu twena twaferwa bambi konka tuchayongera kumushabira kugira ngo okwe yari agume no ruhanga we ahubwo kwa mukama ya mutwire aine bintu bice munsi shana ahubwo kuba yaresiga mukama kandi yaratugambira ati mubana imibana mwe ruhanga niwe yatwangire imibana mwe ruhanga niwe yatere Muzehe Mutebile. Ngeno aza akaba yimengesho eza ishe Muzehe Mutebile. Muzehe Mutebile nawe akarakunda abantu arahereza aboro arasavinga ngeno buri muntu wena shana oramwijaho azayine ubusasi niko umwami Tumusiime yarari ko ari kumwijaho ino busasi nawagezaho akuyamba nkuko arabasa kandi akukwatate atakunuganuge. Ngeno n'amazima yagenzire kandi twamuferwa kandi abeka yitu yona twafereirwe konka mukama amukuza amwecyumweru kimushemereye. Amina.
Every grace. Tumusiime ogwo akazarwa n'abandi 11 ubwo Grace ariwe atwebembere arakuratirwa Tumusiime ro hataho David Mutebile niwo ogwe David chomukama hereza umukono n'umushara wawe. That one has the most beautiful wife apart from mine. I'm telling you. Hari David hariho umugenzi James yamuca rona nyinkurateho ero kuna niyaho nchare muto mawaza kuzara mwana ondijo orankurata ya makuruga mu theater yagwa mwirwaro nangwa ugo doctor bamutwara mu koti akaba muri byo bakazi bingi bakafuka Dr. Mujuru weta Dr. Matthew Hughes bamutamukoti bamureportinga because he was a government but quack doctor. After 4 years my father married another wife muhesi nkamawe akunda buhesi yazara abana barungi ati mukaga mukuru wabo ni Canon Peter Mwesigwa Perpetual Secretary Chairman wa Chibarokwe n'umutenguzi rero yakuratwa ati n'umutaka yakuratwa Joy muhirwe irizo umukono nabaro ariho Joy arikwe rero Joy yakuratwa Irene aga neighbor a retired commissioner of education, but not tired. He has been telling me that he's still able to work for government. So about Prime Minister Shibashuri, the Irene Kwalatua, Anna, Christopher, naye n'omukyala we ali aho, leero Christopher Kwalatua Anna akana nawe katemba mu iguru, leero hazaho Joseph. Joseph kwe yazirwe ishakangira umugenzi Manuel akamugira ngo wagumize no kuzara abana bingi baramurema ngo barishiraho. Then the father said, no, me I want the 12 children as in the Bible. The biblical 12 children of Abraham. The tribe of Israel. And then, during that time, our elder sister Grace gave me a gift of a boy called Saturday Mutebile is here. And my father adopted him as the 12th child in order to fulfill his wishes. So that's why we are now 12. Yes. The late Tumusiime, unlike the Basiji, he was very compliant. Just like my father, he married only one wife, Mrs. Tumusiime Mutebile. So he left one wife, one son, Duncan, and 3 girls. And he also has very many adopted children, as we later see. He has one grandchild from Duncan. Oh, and Florence, by the way. Florence, Akana Wakijana? So, I'm told he has 4 grandchildren. We the family thank and appreciate the late Emmanuel for his total commitment towards this work, love and support of his family members, of relatives, of friends, support to the church, to the people who deserve support, even those that didn't know, if they had the chance to reach him, he supported them. That was great, and we lose him. Many people are going to remain disadvantaged because of his death. However, he had started, he was in starting a foundation, the Mutebile Foundation, which I'm sure will continue with some of his work. I don't know whether Honorable Chekil is here. He's now the head of that foundation, and he will in future be giving us a word about that foundation. Once again, let me appreciate Betty, his wife, the widow, and the doctors and the nurses that looked after Emmanuel. The family also appreciates the Deputy Governor of Bank of Uganda and the staff, especially the board, appreciate the secretaries that have worked with the governor. There was infiltrated called Lydians. By coincidence, there was Lydian Joy Huga. I don't know where she's here. Stand up for recognition. There is Lydian Peace Magabo. Mzujit wa Ugonji. There is Lydian Sara Nanyanzi, the most outstanding. Then the bodyguards, very important people, somebody's life. There is Gumisi Silva. There is OSG James. And there's one gentleman who was both a bodyguard and a driver called Adrian, who was killed. I think that they're killing Emmanuel. Yes, he's also appreciated. Then there's this driver, John Barinda. We appreciate him very much. And there is his driver when he was PS, up to when he entered the bank, called Musoke from Masaka. And I'm told he's here. And yesterday he got a problem and lost consciousness because of high blood pressure. We should pray for him. Musoke. Thank you for recognition if you're around. His office attendants, William Osile, and his catering staff. There's Bandese Habat and there's Ozmas. Ozmas used to cook very good food. We used to enjoy his food. And actually now he's cooking for us during this celebration. We thank government for offering the governor the official burial. Bank of Uganda, once again. The National Organization Committee, chaired by Honorable Dr. Orimunsi, deputized by Honorable Bahati, and the PS of Public Service. Locally, the Kawa District Chairman, the Kawa NM Chairman, the RDC, the police led by the RPC, and the people of Kawa, especially all those Chijuguta who are cooking for us. We appreciate very much. As we conclude, according to Timothy 2, chapter 4, verse 7, the late Emmanuel Tumusiime has fought a good fight, has finished his race, and has kept his faith. So he is back home in heaven, where he is going to be with the Lord eternally. Emmanuel Tumusiime Mutebile, rest in eternal peace. Amen. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Major General Saviti Mutebile. I am now going to request the Honorable Nelson Shangabashija, District Chairperson, LC5, to come and represent the district leaders in 1 minute. I request that you come and stand here.
Let me request the district leadership, Kabale district, to join me
BEC members, Chairman Rubanda and Ruchiga, the host chairman LC3, Mr. Rushoga, thank you, Master of Ceremonies. Our RDC, please, you can join us. Our Chief Muna, Right Honorable Robina Nabanja, Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda, representing His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Tibuhaburwa Museveni, and protocol observed. I'm Korodi Shangabashinja Nelson, Chairman LC5 Kabale District, and I want to take this opportunity to thank and welcome all of you for coming to celebrate the life of our great hero, the son of the soil, Professor Emmanuel Tumusiime Mutebile. Umuryecho abanyakabale, abanyakigezi, abantu baruhanga mwena abali hanuya n'ubuturabe twashasha abo kuferwa inchinji yetu ya Kabale konka hari abantu barugira hari na hehi abaruga Nairobi abaruga mu mahanga gaheiru twena ruhanga ya twebembera twabasa kwika hano twina mani marungi kandi no businje kamba shabe mu nkwase nengaro na kari kenji tumaze tusimira ruhanga tumuterere mu ngaro munonga. Echa kabiri ndena mu nkwase tusimwe umwendezi wetu wa ihanga His Excellency General Yoweri Tibuhaburwa Museveni abo kugezaho okutaho businje n'obutebenkana mwari batwena kutushitamije kutucurere habwo businje oburesirwe government yete nungi ya movement kandi ebemberwa ochitinisa General Yoweri Kaguta Tibuhaburwa Museveni. Tumusiime tumutere ngaro zamani. Our Chief Muna, I will not introduce everyone who is here, but let me take this honor to introduce some. One on my left hand side is called Musinguzi Rushoga, the host chairman LC3 Northern Division. On my right, she is called Honorable Miria Tugume, Vice Chairperson, Kabale District. This one is the Chairman, LC5, Gisoro District, Mr. Bizimana. This one is called Stephen Kasaba, Chairman, LC5, Rwanda, Enare Mukada. Thank you for coming. This one is called Honorable Vera, Councillor representing this place in the Kabale District. This one is our RDC, my brother, Mr. Godfrey Nyakahuma, our RDC, Kabale District. This one is called Murunji Peace Rutarimara, representing Kamgangs County, District Councillor. This one is called Mporera Richard, our Chief Whip in our District Council, representing elder persons. This one is called Norman Alex, representing Kamganguzi and on Finance Committee, Kabale District. abanyakabare kutwahurire inkurumbi yo kutwarwa kwa gavana inshinji yaitu ya Kabale ya Kigezi ya Uganda yona Afrika kandi nensi yona twahurira twaterwa nkuba abo kuba Profesa Emmanuel Tumusiime Mutebile abera ry'inshinji yaitu arahereza abanyakabale n'abanyakigezi n'ihanga yona atarashorora umudini no mu nganda twaferwa umuntu w'amani munonga abasabe aberatereho kandi aryo rutindo ogo kwatanisa kandi hamwe na rukundo kandi nangwa atuberereho umukutuhabura no kutwegesa umuvye ntunguka kandi no kureba ngo economy yetu y'ihanga yaguma iragenda mu misho abere arahagira ibyamagara nambwenu omuri Kabale aberagerizeho okutuyamba kandi atunywanirira yabasa kutandikaho irwariro iry'abakazi baitu okuzariramo iryari Rubaya abera robingire esente ziraika miliyoni 4 kandi n'utwo tucabuwe zindi zaika miliyoni 2 konka twatura amanyangura za kuha abo kuba nibo waratuyamba umuri byona abera tere nkora ya man abera patron wa golf club yetu ya Kabale abere aratushagika umubine bitari bimwe na bimwe umugroup zisari zimwe na zimwe abera shamu aragezaho okuhagira amashomero na muno mununga ago muri Kabale na muno mununga irya Butobere nambwenu ababutobere bashasha kandi baferwa mununga abera tuyambire abo kubanjuka nshari meyo wakatuna akatwata hamukono kandi narabira mu wekitinisa right honorable Nduguru Hakana Rugunda na right honorable Amama Mbabazi kandi na honorable Minister David Bahati watuyamba twashitama nawe amwata no wakatuna twaturashubure sete tuzine mu ngaro batushomesa batwegesa okutesete mu Forex Bureau kandi twakikora tubere turi kugenda mu mesho n'ububoda yaciwe konka hati yaturasima ruhanga aho kugira ngo abembezi beita bakuru batereho uburyo kandi boda iri kuza kwiruka abanyakabale tushiterera ingaro z'amani munonga ngwenu twaferwa inshinji y'ihanga twaferwa umuntu enkora mutima ndenda kusima ejitimu y'abantu bari hanuya ndenda kusima RDC wetu wa Kabale owekitinisa Godfrey Nyakahuma ndenda kusima akachiko akumbere nyebembere omukutebekanisa ebyorufu kariho abantu bingi kariho Joshua Mutekanga kariho Kanuni Ivan Engineer Batuma kariho Muzeyi Byangoma kariho ba Edison Political n'abandi abatwasize okureba ngo twayisa erizoba ndenda kusima akachiko akakampara akayekemberwe honorable Dr. Kulisi baryo munsi kandi na honorable Minister David Bahati abwe ntebekanisa nungi bakwatanise na Bank of Uganda kandi na government yetu ya Uganda okutebekanisa kurungi kandi governor wetu tukabasa okiserizoba tukamushendekeza umukitinisa kirungi kandi kimushemerere abanyakabale simejo timu tugitere ngaro zamani munonga ndegira kuhendera ndenda kushoka kutwara umugisha in the special way okusima honorable White Ndogo Ruhakana Rugunda right honorable Amama Mbabazi ba minister beitu ba Kigezi honorable minister Jimu Muhezi honorable minister Kulisi baryo munsi honorable minister David Bahati honorable minister Henry Musasizi ntuma ndauche omwojo ba MPs bona bakabare na Kigezi abo nkwatanisa nungi kandi no kuberaho Kabare district leadership omuli byona omukutushakira kandi no kutuhabura kandi no kwebembeza kintu cyokora katimu turabasima munonga abo kintu cha teamwork kandi nko kuturashimanya twena government yetu ekataho obusinje no butebenkana kandi kintu cyo kwatanisa mwenu barunjimwe abanyakabare mushe mu nkwase tusimago mamanzi gaitu tugaterera ingaro zamani munonga ndahendera to our chief Muna representing His Excellency General Tibuhabugwa Yoweri Kaguta Museveni ndenda kushaba Right Honorable Prime Minister Kigezi ibere iziga nimunda cyangwa turaza kwebwa konka tukakimanya ko turakunda president wetu wehanga tugamwa turashoronze bintu biragenda mu mesho barunjimwe. I don't want to waste much of your time. May the soul of our son of the soil, the great hero, Governor Professor Tumusiime Mutebile, rest in eternal peace. Thank you for listening. May God bless you. Once again, I remain as Shangabashisha Nelson, Baba Baba, Tata Tata, Akana Keitu, Akayogogo, Karuwako Kubo, Chairman LC5 Kabare District. May God bless you all. Thank you for listening.
I'm not a chairman. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much, the Honorable Nelson Shangabashija, Baba Baba, Tata Tata, like you like to introduce yourself and the district leadership for that part or for that Euroje. I will now invite Florence together with Duncan to come for the Euroje of the siblings. Florence and Duncan, will you please come here? And then may I request the choir for a chorus as they come.
Chief Nona, all protocol observed, distinguished guests, fellow mourners. I greet you all in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. I thank God for the life of my dad, for gifting him with the person he was. I thank His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, for being a good friend to my dad. I thank Bank of Uganda and government for the confidence they put in my dad. I thank my mom for caring and loving and supporting him in all ways. I thank my wife and daughter for the love they showed my dad. I thank the church for the role they played in his life. I thank the Mutebile family for they were by my father's side all the time. I also thank all his friends for providing dad advice and support in many areas of his life. I thank all the Kigezi and Uganda at large for loving my dad. I love you, Dad, and thank you for all the good virtues you instilled in me. I thank my dad for loving my mom, siblings, and myself in that he provided for us in every way, especially providing us with a good sense of security. I will always remember you as dad, friend, counselor, mentor, protector, provider, spiritual head of the family, and most of all for your contribution to Uganda as a whole. May God bless your soul and grant you everlasting peace and rest. Thank you all. Tumusiime Mutebile. I will now request Florence Mutebile, my sister, to come and introduce the rest of the siblings, children, and their spouses. Thank you.
Good afternoon, all. Chief Mourner, distinguished guests, and fellow mourners. I am not going to give a speech because I gave on Friday, so I'm just going to introduce the people that are here with me. I'll start with Nora, who is here with her husband, Joseph Haine, my husband, Laban Musimbuzi, Penina Mabala, and Paul Mabala, Rachel Mujisha, and Duncan's wife, Marion, Usoke David, and Edward and Agnes Kamasha. The some that are not here, the Biawazari family, please stand for recognition. Who are they? Yes, we all were raised under Daddy's wing. I will not say much, but I thank you all for commiserating with us during this trying time. Like everyone said on Friday and now, Daddy was a great man. Both to family, to friends, to government, to the bank, he was a man for all seasons. And we would like, as a family, to wish everyone here who is mourning with us that we let Daddy rest in peace and that we can all stand strong as a family. Thank you.
Thank you, Duncan and Florence, for being very much organized, brief but to the point. May the Lord bless you. I am now going to invite Incafex. They will be led by Mr. Musimbuzi Garuga. I'm going to request you to come here, and then you represent Incafex. I think I also request you to elaborate more about Incafex as well. Thank you very much. As he comes, choir.
Right Honorable Prime Minister, our bishops, protocol observed. They have asked me to talk on behalf of Incafex, but I will talk on behalf not only of Incafex, but other companies where we are involved with Emmanuel, and also I'll talk as the best man of Emmanuel when he was getting married to his dear wife, Betty. I have known Emmanuel for 50 years now, and right from the beginning, he has been my very good friend. He was, along the way, we started business together with other friends. Some of them are here. Others may be seated behind there. So I've been in the business. Every business I'm involved in, Emmanuel was involved in. Among the businesses we do include tea, and it was because of Emmanuel that I agreed to come here to Kawale and start the tea project. We have a factory on the Katuna Road, and farmers are being recruited very vigorously. We hope that in a few years' time, Kawale can boast of a serious cash-generating crop in tea. When you go around Nuruchiga, Rwanda, Kawale, that's more smallholder plots of tea you see. So I'll not be talking about business so much. I would only like to thank on behalf of Emmanuel's friends, my friend Betty Mutebile, who has really done wonders to my knowledge and belief. I think Betty could have easily added another 10 years to Manuel's life. Manuel has been on and off, going to hospitals. And one time I joked with Betty, I said, you probably an assistant doctor these days. Probably Dr. Mbonyi has taught you a lot of medicine, because when Betty was talking about Manuel and treatment, you would not believe that she actually was not a doctor. Betty yebareko omukazi muzima. Yebaare ekyo nkimanyisa hati ngu Betty niwe arikwija kuba ari director mu company zaitu ari kurepresentinga interests z'Emmanuel Amusigiri. Hari ebintu bingi ebimbeerera nibahandika omu mahurire ngu Manuel tasigire ebintu by'okureebera famire ye. Ninja Betty nija kukigambaho ekyo kwonka n'ebyayine omu Incafex and other companies byo byonka hatariho nangu ebindi byongereho nibireberera famire ya Manuel. Nienda kubasima mwena kwija omu bwingi muti kushendekeza Manuel omu kitiinisa. Ningira tinkuza kuba introducing aba time yayatwireho Timothy yari omu time yanje mwene kandi aho wanted to say that we all wish Manuel everlasting rest and peace. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Msinguzi Galga, for that eulogy about your friend and whom you were the best man. And thank you for being straightforward and to the point. You brought out something that made meaning. I'm now going to request the representative from Bank of Uganda, Mr. Michael Ating Ego, to represent the Bank of Uganda fraternity. Mr. Michael, you're most welcome.
Might take this opportunity to invite the board members and the staff of Bank of Uganda to come and stand behind me. Our Chief Mourner, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, who's representing His Excellency, the President of Uganda, the envoy representing the President of Rwanda, your Lords, Bishop, and members of the clergy, Betty Mutebile and members of the family, distinguished mourners in their various capacities, ladies and gentlemen, it is with a heavy heart that I stand before you today, following the passing on of our gallant governor, Professor Emmanuel Tumusiime Mutebile, on January 23rd, 2022. To Mrs. Betty Chacho Tumusiime, the children, the extended Mutebile family, and all the Banyakchigesi, our hearts are with you, and all those across the country, and indeed those around the world who grieve the loss of this gallant governor of the central bank, exemplary public service, and a patriot. Since his passing on, we've had many events to honor, celebrate, remember, and pay homage as we bid farewell to our fallen gallant governor. So let us give thanks for the leadership, the generosity of spirit, the kindness, as well as the courage that have passed through Professor Tumusiime Mutebile's life into our lives. Let us give thanks for the gracious gifts of the noble qualities of mind, heart, and soul that endeared him to multitudes of Ugandans and world over. He served his country, continent, humanity, especially through his humanitarianism, and has been and will remain a blessing to all of us. In the words of St. Paul, he fought the good fight, he kept the faith. May God, who gifted us with his life, bless and keep him in glory days. He was a renowned economist, as you have all heard, and a revolutionary reformer who spearheaded so many things in Uganda on the economic front. It is undeniable true that Professor Tumusiime Mutebile was the chief architect of the achievements and maintenance of macroeconomic stability by the Minister of Finance under his technical leadership in instituting budget management in the 1990s. And like I said in Kololo, and I want to repeat it again, the shock therapy that he delivered to the economy that lowered inflation from triple digit to single digit in 1 year cannot be compared to any other thing. A similar feat was only achieved by Paul Volcker, who was then the former Federal Reserve Board chairman, who did the same thing. Some say that Paul Volcker was possibly the greatest central banker that ever lived. And this is the caliber of the fallen gallant governor, Professor Emmanuel Tumusiime Mutebile. I dare say that Bank of Uganda would not have managed to control inflation if the government, with the firm leadership of Professor Tumusiime Mutebile, had not exercised fiscal discipline. Having done this, he became the governor of the central bank in 2001 and has successfully steered us to maintaining price stability. He has led the radical reformation of the Uganda financial system, the liberalization of the financial markets, and strengthening of prudential regulations. Fellow mourners, our governor held a position of rare privilege, and he gracefully dispensed the responsibility that came with it. He superbly balanced his privilege by honoring his duty to those who lacked such a privilege. And he proved that he was the foremost champion of staff welfare. He bent over backwards to ensure that staff were happy, well taken care of, and in reciprocating for the delivery of their roles. The staff are being left with a void in their hearts by his demise because he was a parental governor. We feel like we are orphans. However, he was also tough, and I want to repeat this. He was also tough. I want to emphasize the fact that on his very first day, he gave a speech as the governor of Bank of Uganda. Professor Mutebile discouraged staff from being perfect bureaucrats who made no decisions and escaped all responsibility. He called for operational efficiency, enhanced communication, better instruments for measuring staff performance, and productivity enhancements, and he held staff to their responsibilities since then. So one thing we as management of Bank of Uganda are promising the governor, that the management and the staff are going to uphold these enhancements and achievements and the values that he stood for, so that we remember him for this. Of course, there have been some challenges along the way, but those are inevitable growing pains of any dynamic institution. With his leadership and guidance, the challenges have been met with appropriate reforms to take the bank to the base that it can be going forward. Now, to Sister Betty, the children and the extended family of the Mutebile, and all the Banyakijesi, our hearts are with you and with all those across the country, and indeed with those around the world who grieve the loss of your husband, father, grandfather, brother-in-law, iconic pillar of the Chigesi community and patron. Like Nelson Mandela said, death is a frightful disaster, no matter the cause or the age of the affected person. But in this, our most frightful and disastrous moment, we are comforted by the words in John 11, verses 25 to 26, which say that Jesus said unto Martha, I am the resurrection and I am the life. He that believeth in me, though he were dead, yet he shall live, and whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. So at this moment, we surrender Professor Tumusiime Mutebile back to the Creator who gave him to us. As we mourn, our faith tells us that there is indeed life beyond the grave, and that God remains to all those who believe and follow him. We surrender Professor Tumusiime Mutebile to the Heavenly Father. May his soul rest in eternal peace. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Michael Ating Ago. And now I am going to request my brother, Frank, to take us through the condolence messages, and then we invite the Honorable Minister, David Bahati, to lead us through the part as he introduces the rest of the government leaders who will be giving up their eulogies. Thank you very much.
Chief Mourner, my Lord Bishops, the family, we have more than 200 wreaths, and you will agree with me that we can't lay them and we can't read the list. So we will hand it over to the family. So apologies to all of you who gave us your names. We recognize you and we thank you, and God bless you. So I'm going to quickly go through. The people have sent us messages. We have a message from the Church of Uganda Provincial Secretariat signed by the Archbishop of Church of Uganda. He says, blessed are the dead who die in Christ and they rest from their labor, and Professor Mutebile has rested from his labor. The rest of the message will be given to the family. Uganda Civil Aviation Authority have given a condolence message with 1 million Uganda shillings. Please appreciate them. Eulogy from Rotary, led by Professor Nwagawa. He's a member of the family, but we also recognize him. Thank you very much. As I said, Civil Aviation Authority, we recognize your contribution of 2 million Uganda shillings. Please appreciate them. The Vice Chancellor, University of East Africa, where the governor was the chancellor. Please, all people have come from East Africa, the University of East Africa, please stand up for recognition. There's a big team of students, the faculty, the board. Appreciate them, and the message they have will be given to the family. Thank you very much. Please clap for them. Dr. Munini Murera is in Canada, is an international leader for the international community of the Banyakigezi. He's watching right now, and he had a message, but it will be given to the family. There are messages from international development consultants, a message from Uganda Embassy in Mogadishu, message from Pride Microfinance, and Uganda Development Bank. There is a message from Diocese of Kigezi in Kampala chapter led by Jessica Tushemerirwe, and a message from Makerere University Private Sector Forum. Please appreciate those messages. There is another message by All Saints Kampala with the 2 million enclosed. I think they gave it to the family. Please appreciate it. Then there's a condolence message from Uganda College of Commerce with 200 shillings. Please appreciate that one. There is a letter from Right Reverend Dr. William Ruchirande, the retired Bishop of Kigezi. Mukama Ruhanga is with you and he will never leave you. Please kindly appreciate that message. There's a message from Mrs. Salome Anyoit and family from Dar es Salaam. There's a message from Kamale School of Comprehensive Nursing with 300,000. Please appreciate that message. There is a message from Capital Markets Authority with 1 million enclosed from Keith Karyejira, Chief Executive Officer. Please appreciate that one. There is a message from the Inspectorate of Government signed by Betty Kamya Turuwamwe, Inspector General of Government. Please appreciate that one. There's a message from the Kigezi High School Old Students Association with 200,000 enclosed, but we didn't receive that one. So we've written on this note, not received. We didn't receive that one. From Kampala Club, where Emmanuel was a member for many years, 1 million enclosed, signed by Matthias Nalianya, Honorable Chairman, and Elliot Tuinomuchisha for Secretary. Please kindly appreciate that one. From Kabale University, Office of the Vice Chancellor, condolence message of 1 million. Please appreciate that one. There is a beautiful message from a relative of Amoti, a cousin, who is also a very good friend of Professor Emmanuel, and she's called Kabahenda, Dr. Kabahenda Kigundu. She's in Ottawa, Canada. She's watching right now, and we appreciate you, Dr. Kigundu. God bless you and your family. There is a message from Uganda Institute of Allied Health and Management Sciences, Mulago, and Charles Tuinomuchisha, the chairperson, will recognize your condolence message. God bless you. There is a condolence message from Uganda National Academy of Sciences, and it has a contribution of 500,000, and I have it here. And there is a message from Green Hill Holdings Limited. There is no indication of any contribution, but we receive it. The rest,
well, we are still here.
I'll request that we'll hand them over
Primary High School playground
to
where
the
the funeral
family.
service for
I would like to say one
death
quick
of the
thing
late
that
Governor, Bank of Uganda, Professor Emmanuel Tumusiime Mutebile, is still underway.
From Gulf
Yes, mourners here are being led
Club
by
of
the
Kabale.
Prime Minister of
He's been
Uganda,
the-
Right Honorable
the-
Robina Nabanja, in company
what?
of other
Not a
dignitaries,
member,
as we
he's
did
been
say
their
earlier,
patron.
who include the former
And
Prime
then
Ministers
Gulf
of Uganda,
Union,
Dr. Ruhakana Rugunda, the former Premier,
they
John
also
Patrick
have a
Amama
message.
Mbavazi,
From my
among
family,
members of the cabinet,
Professor
members
Emmanuel
from other
and
political
Betty and the
parties,
whole Mutebile
members
family, we
of
appreciate
the
you,
different cultural
because when my mother was very sick,
members of the
you really
clergy.
helped
We
us
also had
to
members of parliament,
get money
the
and
community,
take her to
friends,
India, and
businessmen,
God helped us to
business partners
bring
of
her
the
back
late
alive.
Professor
We
Governor
give glory to
Bank of
you
Uganda,
and to my
Emmanuel Tumusiime Mutebile.
Bishop.
As you can see, these
I
are part
appreciate you
of the
for
community
allowing me
members
to
and other dignitaries
stand
who are
here.
here to at least
This
be part of this
Anglican
official
who went to
journey,
serve God in the
official
diaspora,
celebration of the life of
but
the
you
late
keep
Governor
allowing me to
Bank
come
of
to
Uganda.
serve with
Let
you.
us
I'm
see if we
honored
can
and
at least try to
appreciate you.
interact with one
Thank
of
you
the
very
two,
much. My
whoever
brothers in the choir,
could give
please
in
give
a
that a
word
big
of
hand
thanks
clap.
to the life and the journey, or even the service of the late Professor Emmanuel Tumusiime Mutebile. Let me see it right. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
How do you feel about this moment?
It's a very sad moment, very sad moment.
Have given
Our Chancellor,
cash,
and
which
it
is not
was very good that his leadership, he advised us so well.
Thank you very much.
And the university was growing, but now he has left a very big vacuum that will be very hard to fill. And definitely we shall not get a person of his type anymore.
Reverend and Pastor.
Yeah. I'm Jack
Ladies
Ogola
and gentlemen, our Chief
from
Mona,
International University of West
the last
Africa
part
Council member.
of the speeches.
Yeah.
Before we hand over to Charles,
As you can hear from one of the people, or even the mourners who are here at Kavale Primary High School playground, just adjacent to the Kavale Catholic Diocese here. We are trying at least to give you live coverage and follow-up of whatever is happening here ahead of the final send-off, which is expected later on in the day. Let me get you another mourner here, at least to share one or two. Is there any moment you really miss about the late Governor Bank of Uganda?
Yes, indeed, I will. My name is Professor Byarugaba Bazirake. It is a great and enormous loss for the late Governor Mutebile. He was a man who was above hospitality in Uganda. Every Sunday he would invite you at his gardens. You would find us older and younger mixed for a luncheon. I'm sure this is an officer who was utilizing his entertainment fund most efficiently, not for the pocket, but for others. We enjoyed wonderful meals prepared by his wife, Betty. We shall always appreciate. He helped private sector. He supported me twice as a professor to present papers in North America on challenges and opportunities of marketing.
Wherever you are, thank you very much. And the business community, you are here. Please will you go and pay respect to our brother and represent the business community, and that will actually summarize your speech. After all, that's what the speech was about. Rotary Club of Uganda. The governor was a very huge supporter of the Rotary Club of Uganda. Henry Rugamba, you spoke very well. It is also Rotary Club here of Kabale, led by Dr. Augustus Nwagaba. You are here, Professor. Professor, if you are here, you could step forward and pay respect to the governor, and that will actually summarize your speech. Professor Nwagaba and a very close neighbor and also Rotarian, respecting Professor Emmanuel Mutebile. Thank you very much. And the speech will be delivered to Auntie Betty there. Ladies and gentlemen, we now come to the second part of the speeches, and we want to begin by, as I recognized, by requesting the envoy of President Paul Kagame to prepare. Before I call you, I would want to put all this in context of the health of Professor Mutebile by requesting the doctor who has been leading a team of doctors
Dr. Mbonye, Ben Mbonye, to come in 2 minutes and summarize the health of Professor Mutebile and actually what eventually caused his demise. And we will request the envoy of His Excellency President Paul Kagame, the President of Rwanda, to come and speak to us. Please hand over, sanitize the microphone and give it to. Let's appreciate Dr. Ben Mbonye, who has really done a very fantastic job over the life of Professor Mutebile for so many years. Ben, you have 1 minute. 1 minute, sir. From now.
The Right Honorable Prime Minister of Uganda, representing His Excellency the President, Mr. Don Kaberuka, representing His Excellency the President of Rwanda, Mrs. Mutebile and the family, the Mutebile family, the clergy, the ministers and all the political leaders and fellow mourners. I represent the board of medical board of Bank of Uganda and the team that has been looking after Emmanuel. And I think together with me is Dr. Frank Mwesige, and I think Dr. Waiswa, the Director Medical, should be in the, among the mourners here present. I'll be quick. I do recall that Emmanuel had diabetes for very many years, I think over 20 years, and was also hypertensive. And as some of you who have some medical knowledge know, diabetes tends to get a number of complications, and he suffered some of them. One of the complications he had was that it affected his blood vessels as well as nerves. And concerning his nerves, he developed what we call peripheral neuropathy. Peripheral neuropathy is when the nerves of the lower limbs and upper limbs are affected. And in his case, predominantly the lower limbs, where he lost sensation and sense of position in his joints, a condition we call, just ignore that. The reason I'm emphasizing on that, some of you might have seen the way he was walking, and sometimes actually he did fall. It was because his legs had lost power and sensation. That's the reason why he was walking like that. As a result of failure to recognize positioning of his joints, his right foot had curved in as well and started walking on the aspect of the lateral aspect of the foot and developed ulcers. I'm emphasizing this because it had an impact on how the public was viewing him. Those ulcers would occasionally get infected. We tried to correct the foot. It was quite difficult. And that is the position of the way he was walking. The other complication he had, especially so when somebody has got high blood pressure, the combination of that, blood pressure and diabetes, affects the kidneys. And he lost the function of his kidneys, and we had to start him on dialysis. In all of this, even when he was in dialysis and he has lost sensation and was walking like that, he maintained his intellectual acuity, as was testified by one of the members of parliament whenever he used to appear in parliament. I just have to emphasize that. As a result of that, the bank had set up a team of doctors who were meeting regularly at home, and that team was led by Professor Otim and some members. I talked about the members in my presentation in Kampala. I want to appreciate the work that team did for him. I want to appreciate the bank for having provided him with a dialysis machine, having supported him very quickly whenever we came to appeal to the bank to finance some of the activities for him. We did refer him a number of times abroad for his care. He was in the US, South Africa, India, UK, and recently the Middle East.
Things he did. Even for those of you who are not economists, but